The shenanigans have begun. Yo, yo. Get up, wake up. Get your body moving. Wednesday, January 26th. Hump Day, you know what day it is. Ladies and gentlemen, First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. You know what it is. Time to wake on up. Good morning. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Hope y'all feeling good.
Hey.
Yo.
This thing gone?
Wait, hello? Is anybody out there?
That's right. As you can see, the three A-Grios is back.
There we go.
What's happening? Good morning. All right, Brother Valentine gives us a morning, fam.
Yeah, there they go. Miss Wanda Lewis, top of the morning to you.
Miss Wanda Lewis, good morning, all. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
We told you we was going to get her back.
Yes.
Got the she back in the Shenanigans, y'all.
You have no idea.
Unless you're part of the 6:30 morning crew, you kind of got a glimpse. Again.
Y'all have no idea.
Man, it changed up on me, and now every time we hit that button, the radio's listening. Like I'm glad we don't say nothing crazy. Like you said, we always
talking bad about the listeners. No, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Welcome to a fresh Hump Day edition.
Yeah.
First Sky Omaha in the morning.
We didn't say, I don't know why they be listening to us.
We don't care nothing about what we be talking about. I don't know why they.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star Trek Rich. It's going down. We got all the team on today. We got the she back in the Shenanigans. It's going down.
Hey,
all the way. Just like my pints.
Okay.
All the way.
It's a sad and sorry thing going on behind this desk.
Well, let's keep it shoulder up. Rome's review, is that you, Mayor Sanchez? Is that you? Bellevue, Nebraska checking in. Is that you?
Bellevue Rome's reviews. Okay.
Yeah, we got a couple people switching up on the YouTube page, and we are live on YouTube. So you know.
That's right. And we got a good morning from Terry Bricker. Good morning. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Yeah, appreciate y'all coming in, man. That's what's going on.
Top of the morning. As Buddy said, it's going down over on YouTube right now. If you're sick of Facebook, you can go over to YouTube and jump on First Sky Omaha, the YouTube channel. And you can also jump into the chat from YouTube there, too, like you see in my man Rome's Revenge. I like that.
Rome's reviews. Are you doing like product reviews? What are you reviewing?
Yeah, what you got going on, man?
Yeah, I mean, now that we're on YouTube, y'all, what kind of YouTube pages y'all got going on? What's going on?
That's what's up. Oh, and do us a favor and subscribe over there too. So we got a crazy URL going on, and that's because we don't have 100 subscribers yet. So they got rules at YouTube. So you guys go ahead and subscribe so we can get to the point where we can do some things on YouTube that everybody else is doing. We really appreciate that if you would. Pop says gives us a good morning, First Skyers worldwide. Special hello to Michelle.
Yes, and you know what day it is.
Hump Day.
You was
right. There you go. Miss Erica Felt gives us a good morning. Brother Valentine said people listening in their burner accounts.
Yes. That one's for you.
Ariel's 402 tis me also. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, we don't know, like we still got to get used to the YouTube names, and now that we're everywhere, so we got some Twitch names coming in, and YouTube and Twitter names.
Wait, the Twitch?
Yeah, you got the Twitch name. So yeah. Ariel's 402. Was that Black Dynamite? Is that who is that?
That's you gotta let us know who it is. Who it is?
Who you mean?
Who are you?
Yeah. Who is you?
Miss Erica Phelps gives us a good morning. Good to see Michelle. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Brianna Full says good morning with some sunshine. Appreciate it. Terry Bricker says she subscribed over on YouTube. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep, tickle that bell.
Burn, baby, burn. Ariel 402, Disco
Inferno. Yeah.
Oh, don't get them started with the disco this morning.
Or the old school.
Yeah. Breakout in song.
There you go. What it is Wednesday the 26th, 2022. That means the first is coming up. Rent is due soon.
Man.
Sorry to break it to you. It's coming back
around
again.
The back pain.
Yeah.
Coming back around again. But here we are on this Wednesday, and like I said, we got Michelle Troxclair back. She is back in the Shenanigans, and she's planning on being with us on Wednesday. So you know what that means. Soapbox moment a little later on in the show. For sure.
I'm mad about stuff.
Yeah.
Them gears are grinding.
You know, I've had things to say.
Yeah, we do.
And my kids is tired of hearing it.
I just picture them sitting on the couch with you standing on the soapbox in the kitchen, just going.
Yeah, just going.
I ain't done. Sit back down. I ain't done.
And see, on air, they only give me 15 minutes. Hold up.
Wait, Manny said he saw me driving. I was driving Tyson's car because I got, well, it's not, it is Corey's car, but it's in my name. So anyway, I got that car.
Tell Corey's business like that.
I know. And so he got a new car in his own name.
Okay.
So doing big things.
I know he all grown now. And so anyway, but it needs some work. So it's going in the shop today. So I was driving Tyson's oopty. with it wink at you. It ain't got but one headlight.
No, okay. Well, you gotta be careful. Omaha streets, they'll get you.
Oh no, it's Tyson. It ain't the streets.
No, okay.
So he pulled up on me one day, and I was like, "What happened to your headlight?" He said, "It ain't there."
Oh no!
You don't even know.
Yeah. Again, just in case you missed the 6:30 morning crew, Manny, if you see Michelle or anybody, you see Michelle, you think it's Michelle, just be careful and steer the other way.
You see that car coming? Watch out.
Might be Tyson.
Black Impala with one headlight. Steer clear.
She said Tyson got Speedy Gonzalez speed with Slowpoke Rodriguez reflexes.
Yeah.
on that note,
please drive safely, y'all.
Yeah, please drive safely. Right, he said just plead the fifth. I hear that. Miss Erica Fell says, "Ooh, I like watching y'all on the big-ish TV. I like that." Yeah. Mama God got one of them fancy refrigerators with the screen on it. She's watching us over there because of YouTube.
Yeah, so why she open the breakfast? Yeah, why she open breakfast?
You put a TV in my refrigerator, I never get back out the kitchen. Ever.
Yeah, she just sits there and watch cooking shows and get ideas all day. I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that, and just go straight to work. Go straight to work.
Yeah, he asked me this morning if I had some curry. This morning.
And for breakfast?
What is he doing? I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm gonna come over and see because that sounds pretty good to me.
Curry eggs? I don't know.
Hey, let me say something. Anything that Jahi decide he gonna put together, I trust.
Because he be throwing down.
He cooking. He be cooking.
Yeah.
We're already 10 minutes in, so let's get to talking about what we're gonna talk about today. We got a lot to talk about. You know us, we can do this.
We done got on the itis talk early.
The itis talk. You missed that. Oh, buddy, why did you remind her? Now we're gonna go. We about to go another half hour on itis. We about to go another half hour on the itis because Michelle got to tell you. Before we get into that, let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. You guys have been chiming up about some things, especially this library.
Yes.
People do not want that. We could deal with a whole bunch of mess, but don't mess with that library. Is what I'm feeling like the story is here.
Big shout out to Jakeem Fox though. Jakeem be singing, as we like to call him around here.
Jakeem be singing. Yep,
yes. Called him out, man. Called out the lung company as far as the one catching. Jakeem gonna come with the receipts. They try to delete the post, but
it was too late. It was too late.
Screenshots last forever, man. Screenshots last forever. So we'll definitely
I posted it. And all the comments will have me on the floor.
Look, before we get into it, let's run down what we're going to do, what we're doing today.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah. So definitely got to talk about the library. Big shout out to everybody posting on that and staying on top of that thing. Also, we will be talking about some things going on with the. Actually, I think Josh Tagg brought this to our attention last time, talking about the Justice and Policing Act and the George Floyd trial. Again, the last 3 officers, their trial is starting. And while that's happening, some changes in Nebraska with their policy as far as Nebraska police forces and sheriff's departments changing their policy on whether or not officers should intervene when there's a case of excessive force. So we'll talk about that policy change and possible change in police culture in total.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of changes in culture, shout out to our partners over at The Reader. We will be having Brother Chris Bowling on Friday to talk about his Disinvested project, which is a new reporting project that The Reader is putting on and will be going through this entire year, actually. So, looking at some stories from some interesting angles and really trying to speak some power to truth. So, big shout out to Chris Bowling, our partners over at The Reader, kind of giving a quick glimpse into what they're talking about over there. And then also some prison stuff we'll be talking about. But beyond all that, I'm looking forward to Michelle Troxclair Soapbox moment. Of course, we'll have that coming up a little later on. And as always, if there's anything on your hearts, your minds that you feel like we should be talking about, feel free to chime into the chat wherever you're at, Facebook, YouTube, all of that. And let us know what's on your mind. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, in between time, this is First Sky Omaha Hump Day. Let's go.
Good morning. We are back. It's going down. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair in the house, and Star Trek Rich. The shenanigans have begun. Michelle, did you get your arse back in them pants over there? Is that what she was up dancing doing?
Well, that and my right leg went to sleep.
Oh.
No.
I'm wide awake, but my leg ain't. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, as Pop said, that intro's a killer. Maybe that quick groove will help you shake your leg loose.
Yeah, I that's what I was in here doing, trying to pull my pints up and get some blood circulation in my leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're good.
Yeah. As you can see, the shenanigans is back in full effect. The 3 A-Grios.
Yep, and we're already jumping into it with the library story. We got Jonathan Benjamin Alvarado in the house. What's going on, big bro? He said the library is gone. Mutual is going to build a skyscraper there. Done deal. It was an inside job.
What?
There you go.
Yeah.
Mutual better put a library on the main level. The first 3 levels.
Miss Erica Felt in the chat says, I saw a few folks from in here commenting on that Lund post. So let's jump into this Lund post story, man, because I was loving the feedback. It was just kind of legendary, really. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what you got for
Michelle,
us, buddy?
Don't ask the questions you don't want the answers to. That's my advice to Lund. But I post after post, I got an idea. Why don't we make it a place where you can have books? And
yes.
Let's go ahead and jump to the story.
Yeah. For those of you who don't remember, this is something that we've been looking at now over the last couple months in regards to whispers and news coming out about some changes to the city's library, most specifically the downtown library possibly moving, but also just to the whole library system in Omaha. But now people are definitely chiming up, as Michelle just mentioned, specifically on what's going on to the downtown branch. Of course, there's a lot of changes with the Jean Leahy Mall, and it seems like some of that is trickling over to the library area, which now, as Brother JBA just mentioned, is no longer. This coming out of Omaha World Herald. More than a dozen residents, many airing criticism and objections, shared their thoughts on the proposed move of Omaha's downtown library, with City Council just this past Tuesday, exactly one day before Mutual of Omaha planned to unveil its plan to build a skyscraper on the site, a new headquarters, again, as Brother JBA just mentioned. And also, it wasn't just the dozens of residents in attendance on Tuesday at the city council meeting, but also the hundreds and hundreds, possibly even thousands. I know there was over 600 comments on just one post alone, but people on social media, again, advocating for the survival of the downtown library. Lund, the construction company behind the project, I guess tried to do their due diligence. It seems like it was just show, though, as far as asking the people what they would like to see in that area. And of course, the thousands and hundreds of comments coming out saying library in some shape or form, a place for books. That'd be a good idea. Maybe somewhere that people can congregate and read books. Yeah. Everybody overwhelmingly said library.
Archives, maybe some information and technology.
Yeah, computers, that type of stuff. That'd be
for
a
the
good
public
thing
to use.
Good thing to put into the book. But I think the most interesting thing about all of this is the fact that after all of these comments, after all of this support, the city still elected to move forward. Lund actually deleted their comment, which is very interesting. Like the people didn't say what they wanted to hear, so they just deleted the comment. And now again, we're hearing that Mutual of Omaha has weaseled their way in and is somehow building a skyscraper there, which will be their new headquarters. Thoughts?
Well, I tell you, we had Joaquin B. Singing on the show a little while ago, last season when we were talking about this subject. He had spoken to the people that were some of the people that were behind this, and the report was that this was not a privatization situation. They were adding funds to what needed to be upgrades for the library, but it was going to remain public and so on and so forth. I think there were some articles that came out after that saying that it was a privatization situation. JBA over here just said it's an inside job. It's a done deal. And yeah, I'm quite sure that Omaha, that the insurance company there already committed to building there before any of this stuff happened in the first place. Any of these deals got set. They already had that building sold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the issues is that part. But I'm a little bit confused though, based on the stuff that we talked about last season about whether or not this is a privatization. Because we kind of figured out through Joaquin it wasn't.
Well,
so we need to kind of figure out what's really going on here.
I think the building is being privatized, and of course, Mutual of Omaha is buying it, and now they own it. It's going to be their headquarters. But I think as far as the library system itself is not being privatized.
Right. So when they move it into the new building, that's
going to be
deal.
public. It's just wherever that's going to be. I don't even know where they're proposing to build the new library.
Well, we reported on that a little while ago too. It's going to be down they're taking over this building on 16th Street or somewhere around there, where this new library is going to be at. I can't remember exactly. It's downtown. It's in the middle of downtown somewhere now. Yeah, about when we got towards the end of the last season, we talked about where that new one was going to be at. They already got that picked out too, and that's about to get renovated. So,
well, I hope it's top of the line.
Well, it's supposed to be like a do space. All the libraries are supposed to turn into kind of hybrid do spaces.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So I think that's what it was. It's kind of coming back to me now. I think the deal with the main library branch was a whole different deal than what they're getting ready to do with these upgrades. And that's because they had that building sold. They was talking about that behind closed doors. You know they were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Miss Erica Felt in the chat says they posted that already, knowing it was going to be. It was childish on their part. They evicted me in 1998, so I've never liked Lund.
Yeah.
Lund, you said earlier they were trying to do their due diligence. I think Lund was trying to brag on what was up with that.
It was show. It was definitely for show.
Yeah, it was not. They didn't want any comments, really.
Right. They didn't want no smoke.
They didn't want any comments. They just posted that it was PR mess,
right?
And it backfired on them. I think
it's kind of punk. It's kind of punk for them to do that to like take the post down after that.
But I understand. they do punk moves on a regular. So
right.
mhm.
Wanda Lewis says 1401 Jones Street. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Digging that address for us. That's where the new main branch library will be. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
just west of the old market. Apparently that location will be leased for 10 years at $465,000 a year, and then after 5 years, the city would have the option to opt out of the lease or buy the building altogether.
Yeah.
That sure is a lot of money.
Yeah, just over $500,000 a year, or just under $500,000 a year.
Got my man Black Dynamite in the chat. He's over on Twitch. Thanks for the Twitch comments, man. Subscribe to us over there if you would. Says, good morning, y'all. Welcome back, Michelle. He says, so will Mutual's current site turn into more bogus shops and apartments? That's a good question, too.
That's a good,
Probably.
good question.
And also, he says, the new spot is supposed to be like 2 blocks south or the current spot. 1401 Jones. So Wanda Lewis said, floodplain, low line. Yeah, this is the reason why everybody wants everything in North Omaha, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did see that. So the new library is supposed to be moved into an area where there's now like a possibility of it flooding. Like the location where it is now, there is supposed to be some research on like it's impossible for it to flood where it is now, and where they're moving it, there is now a slim percentage of it being in a flood site.
Well, I would suggest they build. They put the actual books. Up on the second and third floor.
Yeah, the actual archives maybe on the top floor.
Yeah.
But also, I wonder how long it's going to take for this library and how this transition to go, because it is actually $3 million worth of renovations and repairs that's supposed to happen to the new building. So I'm not sure how long all of this is going to take.
It'll take a while.
Yeah.
Pops in the chat says, and I bet my lunch money that the Mutual skyscraper was a plan from the start and may have been the reason for the entire transaction in the first place. I tend to agree.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with that. At the very
Everything
least,
else is just smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. At the very least, they were in the deal at first. They wouldn't have even tried to make a deal if nobody was interested in that building in the first place. They were talking that it was prime real estate this whole time, and they're redoing the whole Gene Leahy Mall. They're putting the whole concert area out there. So yeah, they wanted to, and then of course we all can't forget about all the stuff that Mean Gene used to say about the homeless people sitting out there on the steps. They wanted all that gone.
Yep. I think that's the main thing. I think there's a lot to be said about that. I don't think that point could be glossed over. The fact that there was a whole population of quote unquote undesirables in this area, and rather than doing something about the homelessness and affordable housing in the city and actually trying to solve some issues and do your job, you're just selling real estate and
displacement,
right, hurting them.
Yeah,
I think the biggest deal though is the money. I think that Mutual coming in and saying we'll buy that building, and I think it's the money is the reason why any of this moved like it did. In the chat, Brianna Full says the city is arguing the current downtown library building is old, but the new location is like 50 years older.
Yeah. Again, $3 million in repairs for the new building. Why not invest that in the current building?
Because it's prime.
Because Mutual wants it. That's why.
Well, they'll pay for it. Mark Manor in the house. What's happening, bro? He says absolutely. Manny's asking a question. He says, "I missed it. The council vote unanimous." I'm not sure about that.
I'm skimming through the article now to see the actual split on the vote.
Yeah. Miss Erica Felder says, including homeless teens. Yeah, a lot of homeless teens down in the area as well, and they're getting neglected. Wanda Lewis says they didn't vote. It's to be continued. So there's your answer there for that one.
Okay.
So yeah, still got to vote on it. Still a lot. Yeah, haven't voted yet. Yep. Interesting.
Well, I'm looking at an article about it. The skyscraper that they're trying to build, they want it to be taller than First National Tower. It'll be 40 stories. Yeah, so trying to make Omaha look like a real downtown. But
that's a bad place for a skyscraper, really.
It is. I keep looking at the space. I'm like, is there enough space there to support that? I don't see it. I don't see it.
Well, all I know is that the way the thing is situated now, you see there's a skyline right behind all of the library now. If you're looking at it from downtown, that now all that'll be covered up. All those buildings behind there will be covered up.
Which has always been the picturesque angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like what where's the parking gonna be at? Where's the who knows? I don't know. It's weird the way that the way that the city is set up. What they're doing with the Gene Leahy Mall right now is just weird to me anyway. So I don't know how that's going to end up looking. I'm sure it'll be fine looking in the end, but
Yeah, I wanted to get into what Joaquin had to say as far as his comment on Facebook, because it was very interesting. He says, after 600 plus people responded to the loan company's tweet asking what they wanted to see in the library location, everyone said a library. They deleted the tweet. If there is any example of the way Omaha is run, this is it. I won't pretend anymore that civic engagement ends with a tweet, showing up to a public meeting, or having a conversation with leaders. You must be prepared to participate in subversive direct action if you want to affect this issue. This is the reality of Omaha politics. There is nothing else.
Wow.
So yeah, not necessarily saying that I agree or disagree with Brother Fox, but it's just interesting to see how these things are influencing him and other activists and leaders in the community. Because again, remember, like he said, showing up to public meetings, it goes beyond that. That was one thing that Joaquin was very heavy on last year, was trying to go to all of the city council meetings and going to those public meetings, but learning that this is another example. Like, it's going to take more, more work.
Brother Jonathan Benjamin Alvarado in the chat says this is all process theater, and bad theater at that.
Yeah, it is. And Ariel's 402 said, put them homeless people to work. Let me address that. Homeless people are homeless for a myriad of reasons, not just because they don't have work. Most of them, and this is fact, are suffering from some sort of undiagnosed or untreated mental illness. A lot of them are homeless veterans who are suffering from PTSD. So yeah, it's a bigger issue than just work. So I wanted to put that out there. And they used to go to that library to warm up in the wintertime, to have some place to go. It's a touchy situation.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm sorry, go ahead, bud.
Or I know there's some that actually did use the resources in the library, not just there warming up, but studying, trying to educate themselves and better themselves, maybe even apply for jobs. And with the housing market, some people still do have jobs and are still homeless.
Truth. And we have soapboxed on that before. Rents have outpaced wages, and that's the nature of the beast.
There you go. More in the chat right now. Terry Bricker says, if they hadn't voted, why is Lund asking for suggestions?
That's a good question.
But the question to me is, were they really asking for suggestions? I think they were.
They didn't want that.
It's all show.
They got some suggestions, and then was like, never mind.
Well, they were like, oops. Let me delete that.
Right.
Yeah, it's really bad. It is bad PR for them for sure. That they do a lot of projects around town, and this was a little bit of a slip up when it comes to that. But they should have known. They should have had their finger on the pulse a little bit to know that people don't want their library messed with in the first place.
Yeah. You said they run a lot of projects. Yeah, they run a lot of projects. All right.
Yeah, those two. Yeah. Miss Erica Phelps, Miss Erica Phelps says the skyscraper is just a dominance move. She said Mutual is also taking the park building on Dodge, displacing all those elder condo owners.
Really?
Black Dynamite said that's a bad spot for 40 plus stories. There's an open lot caddy corner from the Holland. I think Holland owns that. I think they're about to build something over there too. They got this other building that's coming down there. I believe it's going to be in that lot. I just saw the architecture for it, which actually looks real dope. It's real futuristic looking.
Don't forget the apartments and everything that they're going to start building in the former Conagra campus. That's getting completely renovated as well, along with the whole science emporium that's going to go on the river. Downtown Omaha is going to change completely, and we already know these developers, their hands are getting greased in all of this. None of this development is going to happen without pockets getting lined, and unfortunately the people get in the back door.
Yeah.
Mark Manor, Steelhouse. Thank you, brother. That's what I was trying to think of. Go take a look at what that Steelhouse Omaha thing is. You'll see see where that's at. They got a lot of construction going on down there. It's huge.
Yeah. I'm not completely against modernization and growth for the city. I'm not against that. No. What I hate to see is displacement of working class and poor people. I hate to see old architecture and old buildings destroyed. So yeah, those types of things. Now, the library itself, no, it wasn't a looker. It wasn't a beautiful building by any means. But I worry about our political climate and how they don't care about those particular kinds of people, and they don't care about, the history of those buildings and things. So that bothers me.
And you know what? I look at I've always been interested in big picture architecture. What things mean for the city. For that city, that building to be positioned kind of in the center that way, always kind of showed me where the value is in the city.
Exactly.
And for that to be taken away, that symbol to be taken away that way is it's Omaha showing it.
Yeah.
Omaha was ours out.
Yeah.
Miss Erica Felt is handling some trolls for us that are on the YouTube page. I appreciate you. We feel like everybody, all the chat chimers, all the co-hosts, you guys will handle that. We can handle some trolls. We ain't worried about it. And I know that you guys will speak up and call them out and all that good stuff. It'll be make for some good reading. So appreciate that. It is 7:32 right now. If you believe in the concept of time and you're keeping track of it, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come right back. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, and Star Trek Rich. The Shenanigans is going down right now, y'all. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hold on.
Woo.
Yeah, man. I said it, man.
Booyaka, 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 booyaka.
Oh, brother, Edamar Valentine. Hey, man. I'll go out my youth.
What's up, y'all? We're back. First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star Trek Rich is going down. Thank you for all the people that have chimed into the chat and joining us everywhere. We are on YouTube now. You can go to First Sky Omaha, the YouTube channel. And while you're over there, subscribe. You need a certain amount of subscribers now so you don't have no crazy URLs and stuff and all that. They got a bunch of rules over there, but all good. If you're sick of Facebook, come on over to the YouTube channel. Also, we got Twitch going on now, too, so you can catch us over at Twitch, and you can also comment over there. Yeah, man. So, we kind of spreading out a little bit. And also, don't forget Twitter, which is a good source for news. A lot of the alternative news channels are using Twitch, and so are we. So, jump over to Twitch. That's right. First Sky Omaha, the Twitter channel. Check us out over there too. We expanding, y'all. We spreading.
We
out.
tweeting and twitching.
and all of that. Also, we're on Amazon.
And tubing.
And tubing.
Yeah, tubing and Alexa in, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, if you're on Amazon and you have Alexa at home, go ahead and let her know that you would like to listen to First Sky Omaha, and there you go.
There you go. I'm jumping to the chat real quick because it's been going off pretty well. Ms. Erica Fell says the only problem with opening up to that was the troll thing. She's handling the troll there for us. Wanda Lewis says no district. They don't want it to belong to any other district but theirs. However, they lost the battle with District 2. Ms. Erica Fell says Omaha has never valued preserving architecture. I saw that the day I arrived, and there were so few buildings older than 80 years old. A-Grios 402 is back saying, I appreciate all the homelessness issue. We are all one step from the street. I was hoping to build them up and not putting anyone down. Yeah, I think we kind of got the gist of what you were saying there for sure. I mean, I know that I've heard Mean Gene and them talk about putting them to work and all that too. So yeah, most def. Black Dynamite over on Twitch says, to Michelle's point, that's the exact reason the old market is only 4 blocks long due to the demolition of Jobbers Canyon. Yeah, taking it back with the history there, Black Dynamite. Brother Valentine. Hey, I said Amon. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
Yeah. Wanda Lewis says, if it wasn't for Sam Mercer, we wouldn't have an old market district because they wanted to tear the entire district down. Oh man, can you imagine that? Mark Manor in the house. He says there is a lot of cool things happening downtown. New venues. That science center should be unique and a more functional park. The issue is that they have ignored the community and just did all this on their own for their own gains.
Yeah, that's the big issue.
And secured funding using North Omaha statistical data. Let's not forget about that. That the reason they call it NODO, North Omaha Downtown, is so that they can use our vacancy rates, our blight rates, our poverty rates in order to get federal funding for these projects. So yeah, it's all a game.
Use us in so much as it benefits them. Brother Inamar Valentine had a good point as well. He says most city business does not take place in the public eye. Public meetings are a way to make the decision legal or acceptable.
Yeah, very true. We haven't seen much. First of all, we haven't seen many public meetings, but then the ones we see don't seem like the majority of people are getting what they came to the meeting to ask for. It's still a decision that's made behind closed doors, and really without any kind of public input. Yeah. Most of the time, I've lived in many places. This is the place that I've seen this happen the most. That lack of public forum. Or we live in a big area where people are saying one thing, but then our leaders are saying something, or saying, "Well, yeah, you said that, but we're gonna do something else."
We know what you want, but we're gonna give you what we think you need.
Also, I just came across this. This is interesting within this article. In addition to the relocation of Mutual of Omaha, Mayor Gene Stother's administration and business leaders on Wednesday are expected to announce a streetcar system that will run from downtown to the University of Nebraska Medical Center. So there's even
a streetcar named Desire.
Yes, a streetcar system, which is actually kind of the first time I've heard something to that effect. I don't know how people feel about a streetcar system.
I mean, do we need a streetcar from where would you say Old Market to?
Yeah, from downtown to UNMC.
We needed to go to North Omaha.
Is that That's going? What we need to do. There's a lot of the same thing with the orbit system. There's a lot of east to west travel, but not a lot of north to south, or not a lot of north to west, kind of travel. Because the orbit basically fast tracks you up Dodge, and now I guess the streetcar system will go along Farnham, if I'm not mistaken, which goes straight through Blackstone. And again, a lot of this development, that's like, as you just mentioned, Michelle, leaning on this blight and getting a lot of these TIF funds. They're right along this track.
Yeah, well, the federal dollars that come in here for all these projects, I guarantee you they're using North Omaha statistical data in order to justify the need for it. And that's the problem. So what they need to do is put an orbits that goes straight down 24th Street, all the way north to south. They can also use the trolley system or whatever to snake around through North Omaha and South Omaha. This is not rocket science here. That's the way you bring tourists and business dollars into those communities.
Yeah, but I don't think they're really interested in that. I think
no.
Yeah. I think like you said, it's kind of a way to get around all that. Unfortunately,
and why would they do it? Why would they do it? They don't want us to prosper because they're getting funds based on our dysfunction.
I've been looking at the traffic that goes up and down Dodge. And just kind of rethinking, like, why do we have why is the city laid out like it is? Why is it not faster to get to places? Why are so many places bottlenecking in certain areas? And I feel like they're going to try to solve some of those kinds of problems because it's away from East Omaha. Like it's away, it's going in a different direction there. In the chat, Wanda Lewis says development has actually already began on several agenda items going before the city council when developers are asking for permission to build.
Yep.
Yeah, stuff happens before we even get to it.
Oh, yeah.
Brother Valentine says, I need to finish the gentrification process before you will see a streetcar in North Omaha.
Facts.
That is true facts right there. And it's happening, y'all. It is happening. So trust and believe.
Black Dynamite says we got a whole bus route that nobody rides. I work on Dodge Street overnight, and there's nobody on those buses at 6 a.m. Shake my head. Area 402, the longest and fastest street in the world is 24th Street in Omaha, Nebraska. You can go from Mexico to Africa in 15 minutes. Wow.
All right.
Hey, all right.
We're all for the uniting of the deuce, man.
Yes. And I honestly believe that that's where the Orbitz bus, they need two of them. No, they can do both. They can do one that goes straight up Dodge to take us out to where jobs are out west, because a lot of the jobs are out there. Of course, I'm always advocating for a light rail system that runs from Council Bluffs all the way down Dodge, all the way to Lincoln. Because it would be... it would really help those who have struggles with transportation issues. You know how much it costs to own a vehicle? You know, it takes out of the pockets of people who can't afford it.
Especially with these potholes.
You got that right. Potholes on my lawn.
Yeah, it's going down. Hey, for those of you just joining us, it's 7:42 right now in Omaha, Nebraska. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star Trek Rich, and all of you, the chat chimers. You can check us out on YouTube. If you're visiting on Facebook right now, do us a favor and share the show. Share the show everywhere so we can get more people on and have a deeper conversation. Thank you for everybody that's on right now, that's jumping in the chat. And we're vibing with as far as conversation is concerned. We really appreciate that. Manny About Town in the chat says that they're working on 24th Street line now. Okay. So that sounds good. We got a couple things going there.
Orbits or...
Yeah, actually, I did. It is, or I did hear a report that Orbit is working on a north-south line. So I'm not sure how far in that process they are, but I did hear reports several months ago about Orbit's now adding a line to it. And also, Brother Manny, I know you kind of privy to city planning things. We talked about the new city planning 2022 plan that they released. Brother Omar Valentine posted that, but I know there are some public hearings and things coming up in regards to that plan. So I'm wondering if you knew about those updates. But yeah, again, Brother Manny says 10 years out for that 24th Street line, which goes right back to what Brother Omar Valentine just said. Again, they planning all of this after the gentrification process is done. So there you go.
Hey, we got Vaughn Chapman in the house. What's going on? Good morning. He says, it's time we talk about ballot initiatives so the people could have information and a vote on how their tax dollars, including TIF, are being spent. That'd be great.
That would be. That would be wonderful.
Put it on the app, like J. Cole said. I just want to press the button.
Yeah.
Tell me where my tax dollars go. Manny said he hasn't heard through it yet. So read through it yet. So yeah, man, there's you know, like you said, Brother Valentine called it. Like once the gentrification thing is over, then we'll look at transportation to and from Omaha, and that's just what it is. 7:45 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we do have other things to talk about. If we want to continue this, let us know. You know, tell us in the chat, and you can always share in the chat what it is that is on your hearts and minds right now as well, so we can jump into that. But we do got a few more stories to jump into, buddy. What's on your mind? You want to sniff the coffee beans, or you want to jump to something else?
Yeah, and I know we got that soapbox moment coming up too, so definitely prepare yourselves for that. Grab onto your seats for that one. But there are a couple more stories I would like to dive into. But let's go ahead and smell the coffee beans a little bit and reset. So yeah, still tuned in to First Sky Omaha in the morning and 3 A-Grios. Let's go.
Shenanigans back again. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all.
Kaleidoscope junkies, monkeys tested, vivisected, neglected like art. Mr. Getty spent $1 billion to bring museums to the masses, but 1 billion kids in East LA can't afford to buy canvas. So this generation develops a new kind of art appreciation to how fast the cry line goes on in dark downtown stations. Stand around twisted, Jekyll and Hyde, pyromaniacal styling like Easter Island sea creatures. Smile and cut you in the face. The truck that drove them hydroplaned on the tears of shattered dreams. Poppy seed candy cane tastes sweet to teeth with no insurance. My life drawn in anime. Is it okay to play on the one-way walking backwards? Your rules don't apply to me. I stand defiantly supine. My spine scratches the street and makes a noise similar to the struggle. My black fist cocked in the mist like 2 gorillas. Game hens, game wardens. Warning, that final shot to fire. You got my chest wired so you can hear the sounds bouncing off brick walls, cattle calls of the ghetto. Is this the internment camp revamp? Who fares well when welfare fails to fix that baby mama mojo? Mackin' to make that monthly check. Yo, hey.
Yo, First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star Trek Rich. Hey. It's going down, y'all. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, and all the chat chimers, man. Really appreciate everybody that's coming in, checking it out. Yeah, that's some old school stuff. Miss Erica Felt, that's from back in the day. A friend of ours named Ike Owens and Jay. They got down on some tracks together, and we all pitched in on that. So yeah, just bringing back some old school stuff. I got Brooke Rodriguez in the house. What's happening? Good morning. Good morning. Hey. And Omar Valentine says drop the link on that one.
Needs that. I might just need to do the season 3 playlist, y'all.
I'm thinking that we need to do the season 3 playlist for sure. In the meantime, season 2 playlist is up on Spotify right now if you want to get down. So definitely check that out. First Sky Omaha on Spotify. Check out the set list, season 2 set list, and we'll be putting that season 3 together real soon for sure.
Yeah, man. Glad y'all enjoying the vibes. Glad y'all enjoying the tunes. Hopefully you're enjoying the conversation, enjoying your morning. Welcome, First Sky Omaha, and full effect, the 3 A-Grios. In Weberite studio and live from my living room in Atlanta. Yeah.
with the lime chair and the purple pillow.
Yeah, it's still here. Y'all just can't see it. Had to switch up the aesthetic, but I do got some art. You know, this is a Buddi3 Da Gawd original right here. This is
sweet.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah, I did that. I'm not gonna take it off the wall, but yeah, you see it. You see it.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. I didn't know that was you. That's tight. That's tight.
Shout out to the Deuce. This is the Deuce right here. Shout out to my man Stewie Dumb. You know what I'm saying? Ricky Powell. Yeah, shout out.
So you brought some of that Omaha funk out to Atlanta with you. I like it.
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, hey, our own stank on ya.
Yeah.
I want to say good morning to my little man. What's going on, Zane? He likes the space effects. I like it too, brother. That's why we put it on there, man. We're trying to make our screen look like your Black Panther room.
So, letting everybody know space is the place, man.
Space is the place.
It is.
Hey, Brother Mark Manor, you need to own that song. I got a story behind that whole album we might need to try to find and get. It's a rarity. It's a rarity. So we'll talk about that. As a matter of fact, I'll just throw it out there because I know you're probably thinking about it. Take a look at Free Moral Agents, Ike Owens band from back in the day. This was on the first album that is a rarity. So yeah, we'll be talking about that. There's a couple things, man. If you guys don't know, Brother Mark works over at Homer's Music, which is a partner of ours as well. If you ain't buying records, then you ain't cool. So
man,
go buy you some records, get your record player, do the thing.
We might even have to have a little First Sky Omaha get together over at Homer's and a little vinyl party going on or something like that.
I
So
like that. Maybe
yeah,
hook up with the Sunday night jazz cats.
There you go. The jazz
no disco.
night
We can't do disco.
Well, I don't know. Now that you back in town, I wouldn't mind doing some disco.
Boogie on down.
Because I know you'll break the fro out in them
Man,
high tops.
Let me tell you, I got some platform boots ready to go.
I know you do.
Yes.
We are back. We're about 10 minutes away from the second hour. Thanks for everybody that's hanging with us. If you're just joining us, coming back and forth, check it out, y'all. Michelle Troxclair is back. Let me do the Will Smith thing on her. There she go. Michelle Troxclair back in the house. She's putting the she back in the Nanigans. It's going down. Shout out to everybody that's listening on the radio channel. And her soapbox moment is coming up very shortly. As a matter of fact, we might get into one more story and then go ahead and jump into that soapbox moment. So stay tuned for that. And again, if you're on Facebook, please share the show to everybody that you know on your page so that everybody you know can check it out as well. And we are on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. We tweeting, twitching, and tubing now. It's going down.
The 3 T's.
Brother Valentine said Michelle Bootsy Troxclair.
Hey.
I'm changing my name. I
like that one. That's
I do. Bootsy Troxclair.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes.
Bootsy Troxclair. That's the birth of the new name right there.
I like it.
Organic.
I like it.
And it was given. She didn't just make it herself. It was given. Like it's supposed to be.
I like that.
You know what? And I got some Bootsy glasses ready to go.
And some Bootsy boots.
Y'all don't understand.
Yeah, we gotta have a 70s party.
Do some Soul Train line and things,
Hey, one thing about you just missed all the dress up stuff that you were in Ghana when it was going down out here. But if you now that you back around, let me tell you something about what we got going on. Hate to leak it, but we about to have some costume situations going on from August.
Just hold on.
It's so good. It's so good.
Hold on. Well, I guess while we're on that though, y'all just look out, man. We're looking to do some more things with the friends of First Sky, with the fam out there, especially trying to give some things and throw some things for our members, man. Everyone who's been donating and man, supporting financially over the last year. We definitely appreciate y'all and would like to show that appreciation throughout this year, and also appreciation to our partners, man. So teaming up with our partners out there, trying to bring some things to the people. So definitely stick with us, y'all.
It's going down.
I don't think y'all understand. I'm back.
I hear that.
Facts. Again, the shenanigans are underway, y'all. Yeah, man.
Chili sauce. Erica felt crazy.
Yeah. So we appreciate y'all, man, and love y'all, and we'll like to show that this year.
Yep. Love it. What you got going on next on the agenda?
Man, we do definitely have some things to dive into. Speaking of our partners, let's go ahead and dive into this and kind of prepare our minds and our brains for Friday. Again, we will be having Brother Chris Bowling from our partners over at The Reader coming on, talking about his Disinvested project, which is something we should all be aware of and looking out for. This is a project that will be ongoing throughout the year, and we'll look at several issues in the community through a more humanistic lens, and also one thing that I definitely appreciate The Reader for is the solutions journalism angle. Again, a lot of the stories that they pursue aren't just from a people's perspective and telling the story of the people in the community, but also looking for solutions and trying to approach the stories and not just a doom and gloom type of way, but a more poignant, again, solutions based way. So that's what this whole idea of the Disinvested project is. This is not only Brother Chris Bowling, but also several other journalists that work with The Reader. And I believe he'll also be teaming up with Noise and Flatwater Free Press on a few things as well. So again, Friday, we'll be getting more insight into that and kind of getting into the mind of Chris Bowling, again, the creator of this project. But definitely something that we should be looking out for. There's actually a few stories that have already been published on the Reader's website, so definitely check that out. You can go to thereader.com, go to the news section, and look for the Disinvested project. Again, Disinvested is the name of the project.
Yep. And don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to the Reader as well. That's definitely a source of information. Since we're heavily partnered with them, a lot of the things that we're able to talk about in the editorial meetings with them every week influences what's being written and also influences what we talk about here as well. And so they're definitely fam. They're definitely on the team, and they're definitely fighting social justice just like we are. So definitely subscribe to the Reader as well if you haven't done so already. Deeply invested with those partners there.
Yeah. So the four areas that they will specifically be looking at are housing and community development, something that we've already been talking about here on the show. Also, education, criminal justice, family, community, and health are all of the areas that, again, they will be examining and looking through with a fine-tooth comb over the next year. And they say all of these touch and intersect in unique ways. Where we live, how safe it is, and whether we live in fear of eviction affects so much. So do the schools we go to, and whether our families have the tools to build wealth, get good jobs, and provide a better future for generations to come. And how our city handles crime undoubtedly can stymie or perpetuate inequity. So again, all of these things will be examined over the next year, and definitely looking forward to having more conversation with the Reader. And as always, if there's anything in those areas that y'all feel like should be talked about or isn't talked about enough, I know just like Miss Erica Phelps said, they'll be talking about childcare as well, which goes right into, I think, family and community was one of the areas. Family, community, and health. So again, they're trying to cover all bases. So if there's anything that you feel should be talked about, definitely bring it to us, or contact the Reader directly, and we'll try to make sure that it gets a light shined on it.
Yes, as you well know, we have Buddi and I as well have been writing and stuff like that in the Reader too. So, like I said, we're in the conversations with them about what's important. They actually are listening to us too. They actually say that since we're the show that really kind of talks to the people, and we're talking about what the people want to hear and talk about, that's a heavy influence on what is being written and what's being researched and investigated by these people. And like Buddy said, the solutions journalism is cold, because like that means that they'll draw something in from another area and be like, well, it's working over here, can we make it work here? Trying to find solutions for things. That's what it's all about. So that's what's up. Mark Manners, the chili sauce. You're right,
man. It's about mobilizing and change making, man, and we definitely have the power to do that, not just by having politicians on and having our elected officials on to talk to them directly and let them know what the people feel, but also applying pressure with this media. But it takes all of it, talking to the politicians, getting the stories and the word out in the media, and also all of you who are hitting the streets, people with the boots on the roots, like the Joaquin Foxes out there, like the Bear Alexanders and the RAP, Revolutionary Action Party, all of these activists out there and the like. It takes all of us. So just letting y'all know, this piece, what is playing in the grander scheme of everything.
Real quick, Ms. Erica Phil says they'll be talking about childcare as well. This is the good example of what I like to call, I love it when the partners come together. So we put somebody from the Reader in touch with Miss Erica Felt, who is a childcare expert and in the business, and they got some insights from a friend of First Sky Omaha in order to put an article together. So be looking for that article as well. Like I said, go ahead and subscribe to the Reader and check it out, because anything that we talk about here, there's the deep dive usually in the articles. So definitely check it out. We got 1 minute to 8 o'clock. We might as well go ahead and get some soapbox moment stuff happening here in the second hour of First Sky Omaha radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning, with the shenanigans with the 3 A-Grios going down. She said her, yeah. So tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Michelle Troxclair is up next with the soapbox moment. It's happening now.
This soapbox moment came out of I'm so frustrated right now. we know that the 2022 midterm elections are coming up. And by all the predictions, we are going to get wiped out in terms of flipping seats in the House of Representatives and, of course, in the Senate. So we're going to lose control of both houses of Congress. And it doesn't have to happen. It's not a given. It doesn't have to happen. But here's what I've been getting, what's been being fed to me. And that is so many people are disenchanted with Joe Biden and what's been going on with the party and their inability to get some very important bills, legislation put through, mainly because of Kyrsten Sinema out of Arizona and Joe Manchin out of West Virginia, who have neglected to listen to the people and do a carve out of the filibuster specifically for voting rights. And I know that Black folk are specifically upset because we are the reason that they have control of both houses in Congress and that Biden won the presidency. So we have a lot of disgruntled voters out there. And a lot of young people have been piping up on Twitter and Instagram and in a lot of social media that they are not likely to vote in the midterms or in the next presidential election because their vote doesn't matter. And I cannot stress enough how important your vote is. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not necessarily that Joe Biden is not doing what he said he was going to do. It's not necessarily that Congress isn't passing bills that they said they were going to pass. What tends to happen when Democrats get in power is we are cleaning up such a mess left behind by Republicans that in order to get anything done, it takes time. It takes time. And we have never been so blocked without any cooperation from any Republicans as we are in this moment. These times are unprecedented. There were opportunities in the past where Republicans and Democrats worked together. We may not have gotten the exact bill we wanted, but we got some of what we wanted in a bill that was passed with bipartisanship. That is no longer happening. Ever since the election of Barack Obama back in 2008, where on his inauguration day, January 20th, 2009, Mitch McConnell and the Republicans in the Senate and key members in the House sat down in a meeting and stated that they would not support a single piece of legislation put forth by Democrats that was supported by Barack Obama. That was a concerted effort on the part of Republicans to make sure that Democrats could not get anything done. And they haven't stopped. They haven't stopped that. They use the filibuster, misuse the filibuster in order to do what they want and stop anything that the Democrats are trying to do. And what's happened? We've had two Republican presidents in my kid's lifetime. We're talking about, we've had George W. Bush, W. And Trump. And if you look at when those two presidents left office, the state of the country when they left office. When Bush left the White House, we were tumbling down a rabbit hole into a Great Depression. We were in the midst of two wars that we should not have gotten into. It was a mess. The country was an absolute mess. We were having to bail out large corporations and banks so that the entire economy didn't collapse. But what's happened is we have such short memory spans. We turned around and gave the keys back to the Republicans and they ran us in a ditch again. Why are we going to keep giving them the keys so they can Tyson us into the ditch? I don't get it. But here it is. We're coming into 2022. 2022 midterm elections and 2024 presidential election are going to be the two elections that tell us whether or not we have a democracy or not. Period. I don't care that you don't like what Biden has gotten done or not gotten done. The fact is, we are in a place now where people in the Republican Party are no longer willing to do anything that is beneficial to the American people. They don't have a platform. They don't have one. If you ask what they are for and what they're planning to do, they cannot tell you. Their only mission is to restructure things so that they can maintain a power base into the future. That is their only goal. They want to maintain power, period. They see the writing on the wall. They understand that white people will no longer be in the majority by 2035. They are laying the foundation and the groundwork to ensure that they are in power and they are in control when that happens. They are not trying to do anything to help you. And I am also speaking to my working class white people. They don't like you either. Your vote is the only thing that matters to them. The only thing to keep them in power and keep them in office. They want you to donate your dollars, the few that you have, and they want your vote. This is about wealthy white men maintaining power. It's plain and simple. I don't know how to be clearer. And the thing is when they are in power, the legislation that they pass, the way they restructure the tax bills, the way they do the economy is strictly to benefit them financially. It has nothing to do with what's best for the American people. Nothing. And so I cannot stress enough as we watch how the Republican Party is systematically dismantling this democracy that we thought we had, as they are strategically putting things in place in order to usurp power if they don't get what they want. The way corporations are, positioning themselves in order to be able to get things done in the government that they want, that will benefit them. This is all going on. When you talk about behind closed doors, what they've been doing in Omaha, this is what the Republican Party is doing right now in order to ensure that white men maintain their power well into the future. There is no other goal for this party. They have no other platform. They have no other legislation. They have nothing other than making sure they limit the access to the voting booth for people who typically vote Democrat, and making sure that if they happen to get outvoted, that they have some nullification laws in place so they can change up the election results as they see fit. This is what is happening right now. I don't know how to be more clear. If we don't vote, if we don't make our voices heard in the midterms and in 2024, if we don't show out in numbers, show up and show out in great numbers, Trump will get what he wants. He will be president again. And we saw what happened the last time. We have almost 900,000 dead people because of his incompetency. Laws that we thought were going to protect the American people, he ran ramshot right over them. We will not have a democracy. We will have an authoritarian government in place. It'll be a cross between an oligarchy and a fascist dictatorship. And who do you think they're coming for first? I can't make it more plain and more clear. Anyway, that's my soapbox moment.
Yep.
Mm. As brother Inomar Ariel's 402, excuse me, said soapbox like this should be told to the youth in the community, a preteen summit.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of people in the chat are agreeing with what you're talking about here. We said Wanda Lewis said Bush and Cheney had gas prices up to almost $6 a gallon. We're talking about the state of the country when they were there. We got a 100 from Tamika Johnson. Brother Valentine says, just like Omaha, certain people make more money off the chaos than stability.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We also got Augie Kid in the house squad. What's going on? He says, good morning, First Sky fam.
He says, speaking of the fall of Rome today, nice.
Yeah. Right. Seriously, that's what's happening.
Right. Wanda Lewis is saying they're trying to divide and conquer for sure. I mean, it's pretty obvious too. It's pretty plain to see. Rome's Review says there should be voter registration at every event in North Omaha.
I'm with that.
Yeah. We've been talking a lot about like where they're trying to position, where Republicans are trying to position themselves in order to be able to control the vote. That's been a lot. Attorney General, everybody's running for and stuff like that.
Education board.
Yep.
Brother Mark Manor says, I wish we could pipe that soapbox moment to every Democrat and independent. Well, we can. It's up to y'all. Share and keep sharing.
Share
tell a friend and tell a friend. If you got a Democrat or independent that you think should hear this, go ahead and send a video to them.
Yeah. Matter of fact, this season we have put things in place to be able to cut out the soapbox moment and other interviews so that we can have them a little bit more accessible and ready to be able to share. So we'll definitely do that for you as well. I got a peace family from Brother Muhammad. What's going on, Brother Muhammad?
Hey,
good morning.
Alaikum salam, brother.
Yep.
If you have a young person who has turned 18 or will be 18 in time to register for this particular midterm election, please get them registered. Get them educated on the process. And they were interviewing young people about changing laws so that 16-year-olds can vote. Can start voting as young as 16. And I think it's time for that. These young people have access to more information than we ever did at age 16. Definitely. And so they know what's out there, and these things, the decisions that are being made today are going to affect them for the rest of their lives.
Also, if you're working at 16, if you're old enough to work and have taxes taken out of your check, then you should be able to vote.
Yep, and drive. And drive. So taxation without representation is not good. We fought a whole war over that. But get young people registered to vote. And Black folk, we gonna show up and show out whenever you tell us we can't do something. That's when, wait a minute, I wasn't gonna vote till he told me I couldn't.
But I actually did come across some polls and some numbers to coincide with your soapbox moment that I wanted to dive into. If that's all right with y'all.
Please do.
This being reported by thehill.com, a poll published on Wednesday found that almost half of those surveyed said that they would vote for a generic Republican candidate over President Biden. Again, a generic Republican candidate over Biden if the election was held now, but he would also face a close race against former President Trump. In a hypothetical matchup, the quote-unquote generic Republican candidate beat Biden by almost 10% points in the new Politico Morning Consult poll. And also when asked how they would vote, 46% of respondents said they would vote for the Republican candidate in the 2024 presidential election, while 37% said they would vote for Biden. The remaining 16% had no opinion or didn't know.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And the misinformation that's out there that's being peddled by Fox News and some of the radio hosts and podcasters and they are telling these people what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. And the fact is, President Trump, when he was in office, did nothing to benefit the American people. His tax reform bill, which he is touting as his major piece of legislation, did nothing but help wealthy white people. So let's be clear. They are not understanding that the pandemic would not be where it is today had we had a competent president at the time. So that let's be clear on all of that.
Right.
But I think Paul, you make a good point whenever we're talking about Trump and all of this and saying that it's not just Trump. Like Trump is a symptom of the people. Like Trump is representative of a portion of the people. And I actually came back across this NPR article that I've been talking about in regards to possibility or the prospects of a civil war. And Business Insider published a poll in October 2020 saying a majority of Americans believe the U.S. was actually already in the midst of a quote unquote cold civil war. And then last fall, the University of Virginia Center for Politics released their own poll, finding that a majority of the people who had voted to re-elect former President Donald Trump in 2020 now wanted their state to secede from the union. The actual University of Virginia data also showed a stunning 41% of those who voted for Joe Biden also said that it might now be time to split the country. So both sides of the aisle getting further apart than together.
Civil War is cold. Civil War. Civil War cold.
Well, we've never stopped fighting it. We have never stopped fighting it. And I mean, it's been placed undercover, under the cover of darkness, so to speak. But the reason we have Black people being killed by police is part of that. It's never stopped. It has never stopped.
Very true. In the chat, Brother Muhammad says, read the book Fall of America. It's all there. Also, Augie Kid says, 16-year-olds voting is a double-edged sword, potentially a lot more spite in meme voting. I still remember when D's nuts got like 13% of the vote in Trump election. 16-year-olds voting. We're about to have the group BTS as our presidents.
Man,
I think you would be surprised, though. I think we've got a lot of together 16-year-olds out there that
I think they need. I think that if the voting age was 16, then they would get educated a little earlier on what's going on. And things would be, the curriculum would have to be different in order to get them up to speed by 16. So
civics needs to be a mandatory course, and it needs to be taught every year starting at 7th grade. I firmly believe that, because I see grown folks who are so ignorant as to how this government works. It is absolutely embarrassing that we have people who vote as adults who don't know. When we start talking about kids, I know there are plenty of adults out here. We're looking at most of the Republican electorate here are misinformed and uneducated and don't know how their government works. We had a president in office for 4 years who didn't know how government worked.
Tell the truth.
So, we have to educate our young people how their government works. When I saw memes talking about, Kamala Harris played the black card, she done got up there in the White House and ain't doing nothing for Black folks. It's not her job. Do we all understand what the job description of the vice president is? Do we know?
Yes, it's to do something for Black folks. No.
No. And the fact is, they think that Biden can just make laws and fix things. That's not how it works.
Yeah, well, that's why that's the reason why our show took a turn to local politics and civics as hard as it did, because we were on that journey of I was ignorant before and got on that journey of figuring it out, and this is where it led us,
educating ourselves.
Yep. Brother Valentine in the chat says, I agree with Augie Kid. Young people have a high level of distrust for adults, so I can see them creating their own party to challenge the current parties.
Maybe party of the Lost Boys.
Maybe they need to, though. Maybe that's the thing. I mean, how much worse could it be if that happened?
You would have legalized marijuana.
All kinds of stuff.
I think there are some ideas that the young people can get behind. Get some more momentum behind.
I mean, we all know that 16-year-olds are pretty influenced by whoever it is talking to them. And that's going to last up until maybe 24. But again, you gotta, if you like what blew my mind today was when you just said, taxation with no representation. Yes, we started working at 16.
Yeah,
got no vote on nothing. That are on where our money's going and all that. In the chat, Mark Manor said there's 50-year-old Kid Rock fans that would vote for stuff like these nuts before 16-year-olds. It's true.
It's true.
It's
true.
True. God bless America. He's coming to Omaha, by the way. So
Oh,
get your tickets. Kid Rock is coming.
Nah, we need everybody to buy up a bunch of tickets and then
joking.
not go.
For those of y'all that don't know that I'm joking, I'm joking.
No, I'm being dead serious. Buy up a bunch of tickets and then don't go.
No, okay.
Have him singing to an empty arena.
I ain't spending $1 on Kid Rock. Brother Muhammad said no civic understanding youth and adults. That's right. Rome's Review says communities need to teach civics themselves. The government isn't going to teach kids that. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think
but that's why we elect people to school boards. This is why the Republican Party has been very strategic. They've been placing people on school boards so they can teach kids what they want them to know.
That's what I was gonna say. I think that what they would be doing is shooting themselves in the foot if they actually taught people civics, because that people can use.
Yep. Because then they would understand that Biden does not make laws. Congress makes laws.
There you go. Like Augie Kid says in the chat, government, civics, mandatory courses, keep people informed. Yeah, dismissive evil laughter. I hear that. Von Chapman said, there it is. Pinky high and everything. I love it. Von Chapman says, this is not only about those running for office, it's about local voter empathy, which can be addressed by putting local issues on the ballot that young folk can be and feel empowered. Put it on the ballot.
Yeah.
Allie Peeler in the house. Good morning, Allie. She says an actual progressive party. Like I said, man, if young folks got together and put a new party together, we see a whole lot more movement. Miss Erica Phil says there needs to be an actual viable third party. Yeah, I'm independent, and I wish the independent party was a little heavier than it is.
Yeah.
Sean McCarthy in the house. What's going on? He says Gen Zers and millennials easily outnumber baby boomers. One election with a major turnout of both of these groups could easily fix the congressional gridlock. So I'm on that, man.
Yeah, the Gen Zers. I've been very impressed by the ones that I've seen interviewed on national television. My son and his friends. I've been very impressed. They understand that what is going on in our government today is going to affect them for the rest of their lives. They know that. And when you talk about climate change, they are definitely much more aware of what's going on with that than a lot of adults I know. And in terms of drug policy in this country, they are much more aware and they know the effects of that much more than most adults I know. When we had the governor come on our show and talk about we're killing our children and quoting a book that's been debunked, it's sad. It's sad. And so young people, I think, are the remedy to this problem.
Well, I think they could help.
Yeah,
I think they can definitely help. Sean McCarthy says also there are a ton of local races in midterms. As we've seen now, school board and city council seats are as vital and important as Senate and House races.
I would say more
so.
So, that's kind of like, it's been part of our mission, especially in season 2. Ballot and the bullet was the theme. And that, the idea was that we need to really kind of be voting. And this year it's about the spaces, it's about them seats, putting people in them seats, in those spaces so that they can do what they got to do. Space is the place. And that's what's up on that.
We need young people to run. We need them to run for office.
Put people in the seats.
Yeah.
Brother Muhammad says the Justice Party. We need the party called the Justice Party. I heard that. If the Black Panther Party was happening right now, that'd be the party I'd be in right now. I think that was a move towards Black unity. And can you imagine if all Black folks united on a vote?
Man, we definitely.
We already showed. Yeah, we already showed that once we get on the same accord and vote accordingly, we make huge change. We swung the state of Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah. And that as I'm here right now, that energy is still alive and well. Even as Sister Abrams is put some respect on her name, preparing for possibly running for governor here in the state.
Oh, again. She is running. She confirmed she's running for governor.
Yeah. So that is ongoing. And also to Brother Melvin Muhammad's point, I don't know if y'all remember, but the A-Grios reported I think over a year ago, Bob Johnson, former owner of BET, was calling for a Black party, like a Black voting bloc to be created. So yeah.
And just to, going back to how Stacey Abrams, put some respect on her name, helped swing that vote in Georgia. Here we are now, though, things swinging back the other way because they retaliated. They are putting themselves in positions over there now that is the same way they're doing here. If they can't, if they just like if Pete Ricketts can't control the school board, then they're gonna put some people in the seats there in order to do it from the inside. And there's a big push for that, and it's unspoken. They just know that that's where the direction they're going, so they can keep control. Like to your point earlier, that's what it's all about. We got Precious McKesson in the house. What's happening? She says, but what can be done to get people to vote in the city of Omaha? Well, I think we're past that. Just like now, we were talking about that in season 2. Season 3 is getting people in those spaces. So what would help with the vote is if you had somebody you really wanted to vote for. Who is that person going to be? And can they rally people? Can everybody rally people behind those people to get them in? Who would you like to see?
Educating people. I think education regarding how the government directly affects your daily life. A lot of people don't understand that. They're like, I don't know what these people are doing in there, but I'm just going to go on about my business. Your business is directly affected by these people who hold office. And everybody from the MUD board all the way up to the governorship, up to the presidency. So you have to make sure you vote in every election. You're knowledgeable of who's running and what their platforms are, what their values are, and their history. And make sure when you go in there, you are an educated voter. It's important. It's important.
Precious says go ahead.
I'm just saying that's a job that we all have to do. Like that is a charge that some people are failing to do, which falls on them. So we definitely have to educate everybody.
I'm gonna make it my point as long as I got this little slot here on this radio show on First Sky Omaha. I'm gonna make it my business to educate the public on how their government works, what these candidates are talking about, what these parties are talking about, what their platforms are, and how it's going to affect you in your daily life. Because let me tell you, if Trump gets back in office, if we lose the Congress, if we continue to have these Republicans running our state houses and our city councils and the mayor of our cities, I'm telling you, they will not be supporting anything that helps your daily life. Quite the opposite.
Buddi3 Troxclair back on her soapbox again.
My bad.
There you go. That's all good. We welcome back. Most
definitely.
I'm gonna shut it down.
Precious in the chat says she's been saying for years that local politics impact you first. We got to do it. Brother Muhammad says education is job one for sure. We need that. That's got to be something that we're doing here. Precious also said, no, they don't understand. I still see people posting the wrong things about politics. They don't know the process. Education is the key for sure. Augie Kid Squad in the house says I wouldn't put too much stock in us millennials. A lot of us are either divided or nihilistically watching the world burn, laughing through the pain as the madness sets in. Gen Z is the last hope. Okay. Rose Review says show the 18-year-old celebration. Recognize them in the way that they feel it means something. Extra slice of pie. Parents do their chores for a week. Okay. That. Lastly, brother Omar Valentine says voting information and efforts should center on where people frequent. The message should reflect importance relative to the atmosphere. Social events, entertainment, tax, parent, teacher, conference, school board, etc. Interesting. True. Like Dynamite says, I was listening to an interesting conversation a while back that said that people that are holding offices are the age of our folks, right around the age where you start taking their keys. Think about that. You talking about folks. You talking about the grand folks.
Yeah.
No, that would be my folks.
Where you start taking their keys. That's cool.
That would be my folks, not my folks. My folks is dead and gone. But yeah, I agree. We have 80-year-olds running the government, and that we got to do something different, people. We really do. Yeah. I think we voted for Biden because it was a stopgap to help reel us in out of the abyss. And it's time to get some younger folks running, though.
I think you're right. We're coming up on 8:30 right now. About a half hour left in the show. Thanks for everybody that's continuing on with us here. If you're just coming back, you're listening to First Sky Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, and Star Trek Rich. Thanks for everybody that's joining us right now. You can join us over on the YouTube channel if you're tired of Facebook. We're also on Twitch and we're also on Twitter live as we speak right now. And you can chime into the chat from there as well. Thank you very much. Before we go to a quick break, Precious in the House says, plus you have to support candidates that are running. If you have younger qualified folks running, and you have to invest, it takes money. This is true too.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda Lewis says, yes, high schools and colleges should have voter registration offices. A lot of ideas about what we can do about this, right?
I agree.
Instead, they got career fairs. They can have
voter registration. Yeah,
most definitely. Yeah, we're gonna move on. Go ahead and check out the chat. There's a lot going on there. We'll be right back. You listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich. Space is the place, bruh. Going down. Yeah. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're just venturing into YouTube. If you're sick of Facebook, you can go to the YouTube channel. Check us out at First Sky Omaha, the YouTube channel. We're just venturing in, which means we need you to subscribe. They got rules over there. We got to have a certain amount of subscribers to do some things, but we are live right there. If you're sick of Facebook, you can go over there and chime into the chat as well. Earlier, Brother Valentine said he couldn't find us on Spotify, so maybe we can find that Spotify link and put that on there for people to be able to check out the playlist. He said something about you only see some past shows, so we have to go kind of see what's going on with Spotify here real quick. I don't know quite what's going on. So anyway, we're back. Thank you for joining us again. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning. As you can see, we got Michelle Troxclair back in the house. If you missed her soapbox moment earlier, the show will be on Facebook for you to go back and check out a little bit later on, and definitely check her soapbox moment out because it's a good one. We need to. I'm glad she's back to get us back on track about what we need to be looking for and watching out for here, and all that good stuff. So, welcome back, Michelle Troxclair, putting the sheet back in the Nanigans.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
That's what I do.
Gotta have it. Yeah, man. Spotify is a little hard to check out, but we'll figure it out for sure. The chat's going off pretty well. We're talking about voting and things like that. But before we get back into the chat, Buddy has some more things that we need to kind of bring up before we get out of here today. So I'm gonna turn it over to my man's. Going on, Buddi3 Da Gawd? What's on your brain?
Yes. Well, just going right along with the conversation, man, because voting is definitely important. We have been getting our crash course in civics, and one of the things that we've been paying close attention to in this crash course over the last now 2 years, of course, is police and the form or the role that policing plays in all of this, and the police forces are kind of the iron hand of the elected officials, if you will, and kind of see how it's been playing out. And now
the army force for them.
Yeah, mercenaries, if you will, in some forms and in some respects. But is that changing? Is really the question that I would like to ask, because there are possibly cracks in the blue wall. If you haven't been paying attention or aren't aware, the George Floyd trials or the trials of the killers of George Floyd, more specifically, are still ongoing. Again, although Derek Chauvin was convicted There are still 3 other officers awaiting trial, and those trials actually have begun. And if the 3 officers are convicted, it would be an important step in dismantling the blue wall of silence when cops close ranks and refuse to intervene when they see another officer doing wrong. This is according to Paul Butler, a professor at Georgetown University Law Center and a former federal prosecutor. Actually, as it stands, federal law requires police officers to intervene in the actions of other officers to stop constitutional violations, and courts have affirmed that obligation for decades. But this is where it ties right back into what we're talking about right before the break, as far as just elder statesmen running the country and antiquated ideas finding their ways into life today. Because although federal law requires police officers to intervene, police departments training has told officers to move against or has told officers not to move against other officers to stop misconduct. And again, the blue wall of silence, or the shield, if you will, is protecting that. And policing is highly hierarchical, and there is sometimes a stubborn culture of silence among those officers, i.e. the blue wall of silence or the shield. And when one of their own is accused of wrongdoing, a lot of times the police unions and all of the fraternal orders step up and protect their own, a lot of times against the people. But again, this could possibly be cracking. This could possibly be changing. 2 of the officers on trial were rookies, and on their first days on the job when Mr. Floyd was killed, Thomas Lane and Alexander Kong, who again were present during this incident. And the third, Officer Tao, is a veteran officer who was Mr. Chauvin's partner and has a history of misconduct complaints, held back again a crowd of bystanders during the incident. So again, these trials could set precedent in the blue wall of silence and maybe widen the cracks of silence, or the blue wall, and that we all kind of have come to unfortunately be familiar with. And this is something that's happening also in Nebraska. Big shout out to again the Lincoln Journal Star for this write-up. But Nebraska's Crime Commission recently voted to approve a model intervention policy that aims to prevent incidents like the one that led to Mr. Floyd's death, requiring law enforcement officers to intervene and report instances of excessive force. A state statute now requires every law enforcement agency in Nebraska to either adopt the Crime Commission's model or craft an intervention policy of their own by January 1st. This comes from LB 51, which is a police reform bill that was introduced by Senator Steve Lathrop and was approved back in April. The bill was a result of testimony from more than 200 people during 2 days of hearings last summer. So again, there are policies that are changing. How do you think this will affect, the things that we've been seeing as far as numbers and police brutality?
I think there also with Elijah McClain's case, where these 3 officers and the paramedics were charged.
Yep.
I think video, between that and video, consequences in video are going to have the most substantial effect on the levels officers will go in terms of their brutality. The introduction of the body cam, plus everybody with them cell phones. They are getting these cops on video doing their dirty work. Now, prior to video, it was just their word against whoever they assaulted or killed, in those witnesses. But now, between that and actual consequences, being charged, convicted, sentenced to lengthy prison sentences, that is the only thing that's going to help reduce the numbers of brutal attacks.
And I was going to say, when you were saying filming it in body cams and cameras, I disagree with that. I don't think that's going to change their behavior. I'm from California, and I'm from the Rodney King era. We've been filming since the 80s, and nothing has changed. What's changed is the last thing you said. When they start prosecuting people and putting people in jail over this stuff, that's the only thing that's going to stop them from doing anything.
Well, you'll notice that they're only prosecuting when there's video.
Well, that's but they haven't been prosecuting with video for years and years and years. So the thing I see that's changed is not that there's that all of a sudden we got video. The thing that's changed is all of a sudden they're prosecuting people. That's the only big change that's happened in the last 30 years over this. We've seen too many people die on the video camera for me to say that the video camera has changed much. They will not process anybody right now if they have not got it on camera. But
yeah, and
the
that
camera
was
itself,
my point. Yeah.
But the camera itself has not changed. It's not stopping them from doing what they're doing.
No, the camera alone isn't enough.
It takes both. It takes both.
Yeah.
Precious McKesson in the chat says, I saw a video where a police officer choked a female officer for stepping in when he was assaulting someone they arrested.
Yeah, and
I saw that too.
That's a reality. And I think that's a part of it, not just the video. But what leads to what's the bridge between the video and the conviction is other officers stepping up. That was one of the big things. That was one of the big things that we saw in the Derek Chauvin trial was officers. They had training officers stepping up. Like, yeah, nah, that's not how we train. Nah, that's not. And that sort of again that crack in the shield, that crumbling of the blue wall of silence is what that's. Again, what stopped the mob from what protected the mob was that silence. What broke the mob down? People started to snitch. That's what it's going to take.
Yeah, that
and the people. We had massive protests around the world. The people. Right. So when with Rodney King, we did not have social media. We did not have videos that went viral.
True.
And now we've got video they posted on all these social media platforms, and people are appalled to see law enforcement officers doing some of the things they've been doing to people of color. And so, we have got to continue with the video because it's incredibly important. And we have to push our officials, the DAs, the prosecutors, to actually go after these people.
I think that when you're talking about what will stop them, video hasn't proven to do that. We can go all the way back to Emmett Till, open casket. People get appalled all the time. That don't mean nothing changes. It's only going to change when there's enough pressure on the police to do it within their own ranks and for people to get convicted. Like those are the only thing I ever see that has actually changed anything all the way. Made somebody actually pay for something like George Floyd.
I'm saying it's all linked. It's all linked.
Well, they're not going to do it without. They're not going to do it without actual footage proof these days. They ain't never going to do it over somebody's word against a police officer.
And the people being outraged, because even a video, if it doesn't get good play on social media, they still don't. Yeah, it's not just video. It takes all these things. It takes the video going viral, the people being outraged, and forcing the hand of these chiefs of police and prosecutors.
So true. In the chat, Rome's review says the police union is too strong. They never get leave without pay. They always get pay. They always get to go on leave with pay. Right?
So they get vacation.
Get that paid vacation. Right. And to that point, thinking back to the Zachary Bearhill situation, and again, we had direct conversation. We heard this directly from Chief Todd Schmaderer's mouth. He tried to get those officers off.
He fired them. He actually fired them.
Not necessarily off. I mean, like off the force. He tried to get them off the force, like out of there. Is what I meant.
He did. I'm saying he did. I'm saying he fired them. He actually fired them. They were off the force.
And the police union and the lawyers and through litigation were able to bring them back on. So that's again what I mean, that the blue shield is not just the police themselves.
Right.
Like there are, good cops and bad cops. Like that does exist. It's that shield, man. It's those unions, that fraternal order that really protects some of these quote unquote bad apples, even against DAs, even against judges, even against mayors, even against governors. These unions really, step up and protect these officers. So without a crack in that shield, without some kind of revolution really on the inside of the police forces, that's really what it's all going to take. No video, none of that is going to do it without officers stepping up.
You got to have it. Ms. Eckerfeld says she was just gonna comment about that video that Precious saw. Apparently, there's a law that officers have to intervene when they see extreme force from another officer. That sergeant is on desk duty while it's investigated. So still working, still getting paid.
Yep.
Well, At least he ain't got vacation. I would love to get paid and get to sit at home after I done whoop somebody's tail illegally. You know?
Ms. Eggerfeld says it took a pandemic allowing people to have time to speak up in such a large force. A lot of my white friends that came out during Freedom Summer last time was because the pandemic hit. They didn't have no job. They had time. They had been sick of it this whole time, but were too busy working to do anything about it. And that brought them out in force. But and that force, it took, like you said, it took the whole world marched in protest of Black Lives Matter. And George finally made some, people on the jury, some judges, whoever, get to the point where they can actually convict. But those convictions had to happen. It had to be like Buddy said, it had to be those trainers and those experts and those people behind on the force to come out and say, nope, that's not how it's supposed to be done, and get some convictions happening. So the chat is going on. Definitely go back and check out what's going on here in the chat, because there's a lot of really great points. Like Tamika Johnson said, all that is helpful. The language is money. Change comes once you hit them in the pockets. A lot of good points. It's all connected for sure.
Qualified immunity has got to go.
Yes.
Got to go.
And I had to look into it because I know there were some efforts and some changes that Kamala Harris and Cory Booker and some of the likes out of California were really working to put some things on the federal, on the federal level. I'm not sure where those efforts are, so I would like to look into that more. But all of these conversations are being had, and none of it is going to work without the good cops speaking up and stepping up for the bad cops, or speaking out against the bad cops, should I say.
So true. It is 7:45 right now. If you believe in the concept of time and you're keeping track of it, you got somewhere to go by 9 o'clock. We also got about 15 minutes left in the show. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star Trek Rich. We'll take a quick break and come back, and we definitely need to discuss a couple more things before we get to the haps. Something we failed to mention about some news about Bear Alexander that we need to talk about a little bit before we go. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thanks, Precious. He said these police unions have a huge influence on local politics also.
Yeah, man. Follow the money.
Think about them unions. We'll go to a quick break and come back. Stay tuned. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
We understand very clearly that they've shown by their actions that they, the establishment, intend to play the role that Jews play. We have to show them by our actions that we do not intend to play the role that the Jews play.
On missing my mic button. 8:48 right now, Omaha, Nebraska. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky in the morning. And this is Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, and Star Trek Rich in the house as well. Space is the place. This is season 3. Before we get to the next thing, we want to do the Trekkie words of wisdom today. Starfleet Daily Meditation says, being an outsider is advantageous. It gives one a unique perspective. And that's Odo from Deep Space Nine, one of the dope characters from one of my favorite Star Trek series.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so
Avery Brooks, yes.
Come on, man. You gotta get down with Cisco. Man, being an outsider is advantageous. It gives one a unique perspective. I don't know if that applies to you. If you feel like that applies to you and gives you that perspective that you need, then cool. Like I know it does to us. It does to us for sure. Miss Erica Phil says it truly does. That's right. Gives you all that. I'll get kids says all my friends are talented. I heard that, brother. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, giving you props on that beat. He says, I remember when you first Says, I remember when you first played me a demo of this beat some years ago, Paul. I'm glad that you finished it and broke it out.
Bringing out archives, man. A little Fred, it was a little tribute to Fred Hampton right there.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because Fred was Chairman Fred was telling.
Speaking of police brutality
and
murder.
Right, Brother Fred, Chairman Fred told the truth about all that.
Man, tell the truth, shame the devil.
And one of those, and a perfect example of a young person really changes some things. He was super young when he was revolutionary.
21 when he was killed.
21 when he was killed, which means at 16 to 21, he was making some moves.
Exactly. So I have faith in our young people.
There you go. Speaking of young revolutionaries, 8:50 right now, we do have to talk a little bit about Beeee Alexander, because last season, before we got out of that season, we had reported that he got in some trouble. And Buddy, you have that information there that we need to.
Yeah, we do have an update. This was reported by KMTV3 News earlier this week. Looks like the 6 felony charges that Beeee was facing have all been dismissed in the New York court. He now faces only misdemeanors. Court documents show that Alexander Matthews, or as we know him, Beeee Alexander, faces 13 misdemeanors ranging from possession of stolen property to assault. Investigators say that he got into a fight with a woman inside an Uber last November. So again, just kind of giving an update on that situation. That is something that we were talking about and looking at, and luckily those charges and have been dropped. So hopefully this is a sign of better things to come for Brother Beeee.
Yeah, and we know that everybody all of our listeners was keeping up with him in the story, and we were hearing from both sides about some things that had happened, and I think it was real easy to be like, well, he's probably just defending what he did, but there was some truth to what he was saying too. There was some truth on both sides of it, and it's kind of coming out now. So just wanted to shout him out on that, and make sure that we understand that everybody, young folks, old folks, everybody, we all make mistakes. We're all out here struggling and trying, and it's also about the rest of what we're trying to do with our actions in our life that kind of matters as well. So just wanted to update everybody on that, and more news that comes out on that, we'll definitely do that. And we've reached out to Brother Beeee to come on again and talk, and so hopefully that'll happen at some point as well. So Brother Muhammad said, "That's our brother. We will not throw him away."
Yeah. Hey, if your brother's forsaken, condemn them not.
Right. Yeah. She said, Miss Sagerfeld says, were they completely dropped, or did they leave it at reduced to misdemeanor?
He is facing 13 misdemeanors.
Yeah, I think that there were misdemeanors and felonies.
Yep.
And they just dropped the felonies, and kept the misdemeanors.
6 felony charges in total have been dismissed completely.
Okay.
So yeah, more information we will bring it to you when we get it, and hopefully get people to come on and speak. You know, come out. We need it from the horse's mouth. What's going on? Yeah. So that's how we do it around here. We will be having some special guests, as Buddy mentioned earlier. Friday we will have Chris Bowling from the Reader talking about that article. You guys chimed up on Friends of First Sky Omaha on that particular article. Like that was like something that you guys are anticipating and looking for. The what is it called? The
Disinvested.
Yeah, the Disinvested articles that's getting ready to drop by Chris Bowling in the Reader. We'll have him on Friday to talk about that. And we're looking at trying to get Brother Senator Justin Wayne and Terrell McKinney back on next week as well, and talk about what's going on with those funds. A whole lot of funds out there. What came to North Omaha?
Yep, that's what we want to know.
That's what the inquiring minds want to know.
Actually, shout out to one of the friends of First Sky Omaha. They actually got into some of those numbers, some of the money that's going out, and broke down the statistics, specifically looking at population size in the Omaha area. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I'm kind of looking for it. It's on front.
1.61 billion or something like that, and then
and then went down, and effectively went to the fact that like Omaha is the largest city, of course, in Nebraska, but is not getting the largest portion of the funds. Here it is. Nebraska received 1.25 billion. Douglas County received 166 million. Omaha, the city, received 112 million, and North Omaha
Question mark.
Right, question mark. It says North Omaha population is 90,000, whereas the super disproportionate bag at 51 million, even 22 million at a proportional split of Omaha allocated funds. Again, I'll urge you to just look into that, look into those numbers. Again, 83% of the county population is in Omaha, but only 67% of the funds have been distributed, and also 25% of the population in Omaha, but only 9% of the state distributed funds went to Omaha. So,
and if you remember, we reported the other day, North Omaha organizations awarded $192,000 in grants.
Dropping the bucket.
So and we were talking about all these $10,000 grants that went to here, there, 10,000 to Johnny T's, 20,000 to Juneteenth. Drop in the bucket compared to these billions and millions that are coming into the state.
Yeah, I done told y'all.
And tried to told us.
I tried to told you. Yeah,
you did.
That's how they do us. And we got that $30 million pedestrian bridge. I'm like, what? I will not set foot on it.
You will drive around. You refuse.
I refuse.
I will swim the river before I walk on that bridge.
Yeah, 30 million to walk to Iowa, but you got to wait 10 years to get a bus from, in the North.
Yeah, down 24th Street. Right. Come on now, buddy. Speak on it. Speak on it. Yeah, we can't even get a bus. And now Orbitz is charging. It was free up until October. Now they charging.
Ariel's 402 says, have a blessed day, everyone. I guess they're out. Before we get out of here, though, it's about time for the...
What's the house? What's happening? What's going down?
Rah. Ladies and gentlemen, time for the haps. That's the time of the show when it's time for us to talk about some things that you need to be checking out, and time for you to tell us what's going on too. What's happening coming up this weekend? What should we be looking into and bigging up on the show?
Yeah, man.
Let us know. Buddy, you got some haps for the peoples?
Oh, yes, I do, man. There's some things going on in the next couple of days y'all should be looking out for. Join us virtually for the 15th annual State of North Omaha and African Americans summit that's going on again Saturday, January 29th, the 15th annual State of North Omaha summit. There will be some heads in attendance speaking, the likes of brothers Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne. Put some respect on their names. Also, County Commissioner Chris Rogers, City Councilwoman Juanita Johnson. Again, Mean Gene will be in attendance as well. Mean Gene. Pastor P, Miss Pastor Portia Cavett will be there. Brother Leo Lewis. Also, Manny About Town will be there along with a few other heads. So again,
heavy hitters.
Some heavy hitters. This will be hosted virtually via Zoom. You can register at the Empowerment Network's Facebook page. Again, this will be Saturday, January 29th, 9 a.m. to noon. So if you're interested, and hopefully all of us are, in what's going on in North Omaha, what's the state of the North Side, definitely check that out. Get informed, and also have your voices heard if you have the opportunity.
Word up.
Also happening tomorrow, man, at 6 p.m. Look out for this. This is also a virtual public meeting, but this goes into what I was just talking about earlier and what we reported on Monday in regards to the City of Omaha Planning Department's 2022 plan. There are several projects in regards to housing investment in North Omaha, one of which is the Home Investment Partnership Program, which is again a part of the 2022 action plan from the City Department and Development Division. So that's going down tomorrow, Thursday, January 27th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. That will also be virtual. You can find that link on the Friends of First Sky page as well.
Okay.
All right.
So that's one big thing also we've been looking at it and paying attention to, of course, is this these ARPA funds, the City of Omaha ARPA Community Grant Program webinar. So there will be an information webinar going on. Actually, 3 of them. One is Thursday, February 10th. The next is Wednesday, February 23rd, and then also Tuesday, March 15th. You can learn more information at omahafoundation.org. Again, that's omahafoundation.org omahafoundation.org/ARPA. That's ARPA. Again, omahafoundation.org/ARPA.
Brother N. Armor Valentine says, I better see some mics being turned off and some people turning their backs during some of them presentations.
Oh.
He said there needs to be a Kanye West Taylor Swift moment.
All right now.
Shout out to Politic and P dropping the link for that State of North Omaha registration link. Definitely tap into that, y'all.
That's what's up. Appreciate you, Precious. And I appreciate all of you too. We're going to get out of here. We got a minute left. Michelle Troxclair, do you got some words for the peoples?
Yeah.
Somebody has a suggestion. Somebody has a suggestion for you, Michelle. A-Grios 402 says perfect place for you to have a soapbox moment at the base of the pedestrian bridge.
Man, don't.
And they do have like a little circle kind of amphitheater-esque area right there. You might can stand up in that circle next to the troll under the bridge and have a soapbox moment.
When they built that thing, I was furious. $30 million could have done wonders for North Omaha. And you
Still
put on a pedestrian bridge?
Buddi3 Troxclair back on that soapbox.
Oh! And then it went over to a dirt pile.
It is 9:00, ladies and gentlemen. Buddy, do you got some words for the people?
As always, man, love and appreciate the listeners, all the chat chimers, wherever you are, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, if you're tubing, tweeting, or twitching with us, we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. As always, tell a friend and tell a friend. First Sky Omaha live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And always in between those times, the conversation continuing on Friends of First Sky Omaha on Facebook. So yeah, tap in, man. Let's continue to grow together. Let's continue to learn. Let's continue to move forward. And until next time, Paul B. I know you got some words for the folks. Take it away.
Ms. Erica Fell says, as always, great show. Stay safe, friends. Keep your space, drink water, and be good to yourself. We appreciate that. Pop says, great show as always. Thank you, 3 A-Grios and Star Trek Rich for waking us and keeping us woke. I like that. Thanks, Pops. Appreciate you. And Josh Tiggs gives us some much love. That's what's up. Appreciate you too, man. Brother Valentine says, stay strong, fam. That's right. Stay black. It's going down. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Michelle Troxclair, Star Trek Rich. We want to give a thanks to our Omaha tribe elders who allow us to be on this land and speak while we're here. I want to give thanks to our elders allowing us to speak before them. I want to give a shout out to Weberized.com right here in the beautiful Weberized studios. Star Trek Rich and the gang. We appreciate you guys. If you have podcast ideas, definitely go to Weberized.com. They are the experts. And I want to give a shout out to all of you, the chat chimers, everybody who's chiming into the chat and putting your 2 cents and 3 cents and 4 cents in. We appreciate all of y'all. We appreciate Buddy, your fam, always being quiet in the back so Daddy can do his thing up front. Appreciate you in the lime in the house in Atlanta with the lime chair and the purple pillow.
Yeah, man.
And man, appreciate everybody that comes in. And Michelle, very, very, very happy that you're back.
Oh yeah, she's back.
We love you. She is back. Thank you so much, y'all. We'll see you Friday. Remember, we're gonna be with Chris Bowling on Friday. So definitely tune in there. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Peace. Also, one more thing, subscribe on YouTube. And if you have not become a member or a sponsor of the station yet, please go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button so we can keep this rolling. Peace, y'all. Peace, 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 peace.
Way. Van Glorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad, with the key.
By any